Hello, how are you doing? This is going to be my reading for Aries, January 2026. Well then, Four of Pentacles. What should Aries know in January 2026? Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Another purple card, Five of Cups. Interesting. A lot of purple cards, Five of Swords. I'm gonna take two more cards. Okay. Page of Swords. And one more card for Aries. Okay, the Hierophant. I do like the Hierophant. I do see a level of selectiveness in the Five of Cups. An aspect of aging your bets with the Four of Pentacles. Well, Five of Swords, Triumphant. Coming out of coming out of a dilemma. The Hierophant energy here is giving me the Hermit transitioning into, so maybe you've been in a solitary mode where everything has felt off, and you had to be introspective, you had to be within yourself, and might have been in your feelings at some point, confusion at some point, not knowing what to do. There's a stormy feeling with like the Five of Wands here in the card here. There's kind of like having to weather the storm basically, but so you might have had a previous energy of the Hermit, being into yourself, having to be solitary, being in your thoughts, being like clouds in your head, caught a wool in your head kind of feeling. And now you are entering into this kind of like a eureka moment with the Hierophant energy, where that moment of being in isolation has birthed being very self-assured, knowing what next to do, entering into your own space, and having an assurance, a level of knowing your mind, you understand, because with Hierophant here, there's a kind of glow, right? But the glow is coming from the inside. The glow is coming from having dealt with your demons. The glow is coming from having dealt with your fears. The glow is coming from having merged with your shadow self and accepted who you really are. Because on the other side of the spectrum, on the other side of the wheel, basically, because you have the wheel here in the middle, on the other side of the wheel there is the Five of Swords energy, right? There's the Five of Swords energy where it's stormy clouds, it's night time, everything seems gloomy, everything seemed gloomy, and you were in the doom and gloom energy for a while, and you had to fight your way up. You had to get yourself out of that mode of feeling like you are in a rat race, a cycle, a never-ending cycle, and getting out of that mindset, because it really is a mindset. Getting out of that mindset and taking ownership of what you really want to manifest. Because you have the Page of Swords, right? So I'm reading the cards beneath because that's where the main story really is, right? Because on the surface level you have what is showing here: the Four of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Cups. But beneath that you have the Five of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Hierophant. And that is what it basically shows the during, right? So maybe for the better part of 2025 you had to just keep going regardless of the stress, regardless of the anxiety, regardless of being all up in your head. You had to silence the voices that were in your head and triumph regardless of the energy drainage that you might have had, right? And then the Page of Swords, now you're coming into your own, you're leaving behind, even though with the Five of Swords energy that I'm seeing here right now in association to this reading, the Five of Swords energy, regardless of the fact that it was doom and gloom, you shone, is it shone or shined brighter regardless of it. But it would have been better if you did not have to deal with the storms, right? And now you have moved, you have transitioned beyond that, and you are in the Page of Swords energy, getting into your manifestation era, right? Whatever you get is what you call into existence. And the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune card can be a lot of people, because fortune is very money centric, is very material wealth centric, has to do with money and all of that. A lot of people just sometimes might interpret it as money is coming in. Yes, money is coming in, but this money that is coming in, this wealth that is coming in, this goodwill that is with you, this, all of this charm and vibes and advancements in your job, career, success, but in this career success in the sense of progress, because you may have been feeling stagnant with the Five of Swords energy and drowning in your cups with the Five of Cups energy, basically. That's all of the new aspect of fortune is directed by you. You have to manifest it. You have to come into your own. And that is where you know what to do, you know what to say. So the Hierophant energy, the Hierophant, you can see the Hierophant here is, there is a glow. There's just like an ethereal, like an aura, like a very bright aura, right? That's what you have. You have a very bright aura, and that bright aura is activated by your words, but most especially your thoughts, what you think about yourself, what you say to yourself, what you ponder on, what you give attention to, what you constantly think about in your waking and in your sleeping, what you dream about, what you daydream about. All of that is directed by your inner self, your inner being that you have to come to really accept. And you can see that with the Hierophant energy, there's a staff in the hand of the Hierophant. The Hierophant has a staff, right? He's holding a staff. And same with the Page of Swords, holding onto a sword here. But you can see that they're facing each other. For the Wheel of Fortune to work in positive form, for the Wheel of Fortune to actually bring in the coins, the cha-ching, you have to be very, very mindful of your manifestation, of your thoughts, of your speech, of what you allow people to say to you, of what you say about yourself, what you think of yourself and about yourself, and what you call into fruition, basically calling into existence that which you want that has not yet existed, or that which already exists but you want to be better. Working hand in hand with the energy of the Page of Swords and the Hierophant, you basically know what to do. Being in January 2026 is moving beyond the Five of Cups, leaving the past in the past and getting into the present time, because what you can control is your present. Don't think too much about the future so you don't get overwhelmed with the thought, and don't concentrate on the past so you don't drown, and the wheel of fortune will always favor you. But the way for the wheel of fortune to favor you is for you to manifest, right? For you to manifest. And technically, even as you're manifesting, even as you're calling in your material wealth, even as you're calling in that good job, you're manifesting that great house, you're manifesting that great job, you're not manifesting that wonderful relationship, whatever it is that you really need to manifest, you need to work on. You also need to be very mindful of how you go about your wealth, right? So even as you have your finances increasing based on how you manifest, and of course being very mindful of what you say to yourself and how you act, basically, you need to be cognizant of the fact that the riches come because you are very mindful of it. So basically, you can see with the Four of Pentacles here, she has the money in her hands, basically, and the money in her hands is basically her being in control. It's basically her being, you can see her kind of like grabbing hold to it. But this doesn't mean that you should be very stingy. It's not even in your energy to be stingy, right? But this has to do with, so don't be stingy to yourself. Spend on yourself. Buy stuff that you need to. Buy what you need to. Do what you need to when it comes to financial spending, but be very prudent. Budget wise. Do your accounts. Make sure that your books are balanced. I think you're getting into the era of ensuring that your books are in the green, not in the red, and you're going to be very, very much aware of how your money flows. So one thing to know going forward is your vision board for the new year, your plans for the new year, your list for the new year, whatever it is that you want to be in control of, you are in control of. And forget the upheaval that you definitely experienced in 2025, and forget the roller coaster ride. It was a hell of a roller coaster ride. Very a wheel of the fortune, if you will, where the ups and downs and all of that. And yes, January 2026 shows that there is going to be another kind of a ride, but this time around with the Hierophant energy, with the Page of Swords energy, and also the Four of Pentacles energy. You are in control. It's not a matter of happenstance. It's not a matter of fate. It's a matter of your fate is in your hands, literally. We look at the Four of Pentacles. She has her coin, she has her wealth, she has her health in her hands, literally. So whatever it is that you want to know, whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that you're working on, just know that it is done. Basically, it is done, and you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. And definitely, Happy New Year for you is beyond just pleasantries. It is a definite thing, because you're not just going to have a Happy New Year, you're going to have a fantastic one, because the part of 2025 that was good, my goodness, 2026 is going to be greater than those parts, and 2026 is going to be much more of a glorious event. So that's it. But let's just get a reading, just one more card to kind of like give a, will I say final message? No, not final message. A message that wraps all of this message up with one card. So, ooh, well, this is a surprising one. Three of Swords. I don't know why it keeps going off the frame. When it came out, it went off the frame, and I was trying to place it in frame. It also still went off the frame. Three of Swords energy. This is not my favorite card, you all. It is it just spells betrayal. honestly, honestly. And I asked for a card that will give a rounding message to the message that has come already. And then we have Three of Swords. Personally, I'm not a fan of the Three of Swords card. All right, it's just a lot. Dealing with trauma, anxiety, betrayal. There is something hard to let me pull. I know I said one last card, but let me pull another card to show why the Three of Swords card came out. So tell me why the Three of Swords strength. Oh my goodness, strength. Well, you had a lot to deal with. You've had a lot to deal with, and yes, you are strengthened. Strength is a good sign, and basically it's one of the three major arcana cards in this reading. We have the Wheel of Fortune, a major arcana, the Hierophant, yet another major arcana. And so we can say the strength signifies that whatever trauma you have dealt with in the past, whatever issues that you've had, whatever form of betrayal that you've had, whatever thing that has caused you grief or disappointment. It might have been a project that you were working on, it might have been a plan that you had set, it might have been a home that you wanted to get into, it may have been a place that you wanted to travel to, there may have been applications that you have made that you were disappointed in all of these things that you hoped will move you forward. And it was just a whole lot of dealing with the disappointment, dealing with the grief that came with it, and mourning the loss of like a forward movement for you. But within that, you should know that strength is definitely something that if you have you're very strong, really. You're really very strong, and in all of the strength, in all of the inner strength, inner reflections, you have the outward strength. People see you as very strong, but you can be soft at times. But regardless of that, there's just one thing to know is that your inner self, your guardians, they are helping you because you see this Four of Pentacles. Looking at this strength over here, it is being driven by the essence of you. So just trust yourself. The Hierophant energy. Trust yourself and all will right itself. So I'll see you in the next reading. Have a great, great time. And yes, this 2026 is a happy one. Bye guys.